Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this episode of our show, Rule of Law, one of our civic education programs, where we talk about what the law says. And today, we really want to talk about something that is very important that concerns everyone in Imo State. We're talking about the 10th Imo State House of Assembly performance assessment. And for today's talk, we have someone who has been in there for some time with us, who will be dissecting this particular topic. We're talking about the person of Engineer Josephat Anaele. And with us also today in the show is the Executive Director of the Center for Social Awareness, Advocacy and Ethics, CSAE, Father Gospel Abaga. Good evening, Father. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Blessing, and welcome, Honorable Chuks. He has not been in the house before. I think he ran for house, but wasn't successful, so we just have to get it all straight before we continue. But yeah, I would want Honorable Chuks to introduce himself to the public.
Yeah, thank you for having me in this program. My name is Engineer Sir Chuks Anaele. For Blessing, you mentioned Josephat. That's the name I was known for while in the seminary. It's still my name, but the most the name in the public domain now is Chuks Anaele. So my name is Engineer Sir Chuks Anaele, and I'm a native of Umodo Umuri, Imo Autonomous Community in Ikeduru, Imo State. I'm an engineer by profession with a bachelor degree in mechanical and process engineering from the prestigious University of Technology, Akure, Ondo State, FUTA. I'm a family man with a beautiful wife and 4 good-looking, God-given children. I'm into engineering constructions. By God's special grace, I've been in the field for the past 25 years. That's after my youth service. Majorly into steel fabrications. And along the line, I did a program in infrastructure. So I do road and buildings too. I think that's the much I can say about myself for now because of time. Thank you.
Okay, I think I will take in the second question for you, Honorable Anaele. You've told us about yourself, and we really appreciate that. So moving on, we want to know, you ran for the Ikeduru House in 2023, and unfortunately, so to say, you lost. But we want to know, from whatever happened in 2023, what was your experience? Would you say the election was free and fair? And what lessons do you think 2023 will give, considering that 2027 is just by the corner?
Anyway, when you say somebody lost an election, the general perception in this part of the world is if you're not there, it means you lost. So I can accept that. Yes, I ran for the State House Assembly under Labour Party in the last election. In terms of experience, that was my first outing. And I think it was good. It was inspiring. Let me also tell you that during the campaigning period, I went through the 29 autonomous communities in Ikeduru, LGA, campaigning. In fact, at the point, it was like as if we were the only people campaigning during that election, because each community we visited then, they will ask questions: where are others? What other party members? Are we the only people running for this election? It sounds funny, but that's the truth. We went around the autonomous communities all alone. I think 1 or 2 parties they started for a week or thereabout and stopped for reasons best known to them. So the experience was impactful because I had the opportunity to know even some places where I was not able to get to before this outing. I was opportune to get to those communities. I met with the people, and I knew the challenges they had, which they are still having up to today, some of them. So I think the experience was quite helpful and inspiring, and I learned a lot, which I also dear to my heart for subsequent outings. Then coming to your next question, if I'm not mistaken, if the election was free and fair, I will take this question in two phases now. If it was yes and no, yes in the sense that it's over, election has come and gone, and also yes in the sense that at the polling units, shortly at the middle of the elections or towards the end of the elections, as results were trickling in, I was getting feedback from my agents in the various booths. We were winning almost everywhere, including the domain of other contestants too. Do you understand? We were winning them. Now, when it got to the collection center, the story started changing. I think that should be the area I would say it was not fair to me and my party then, because I've left the Labour Party. You know, the results started changing. Before you know it, another candidate was announced winner. So at that point, I was helpless. There's nothing I could do about it. I think that informed the decision why I left my former party, because the leaders were nowhere to be found to defend the votes. So, like I said before, that one is now all in the past now, it's gone. I don't want to talk more or say much about it. Then, for lessons learned from it, it's still part of the experience. You know, we learned our lessons. Know why it's good to have a grassroots support base. Then not just grassroots, you must also have very strong foot soldiers that will defend their votes.
Thank you so much, Engineer Anaele. I will jump in here, and I want to ask you about the 10th Imo House of Assembly. It's now 3 years since the 10th Imo House of Assembly, which you wanted to be part of, commenced. Now, how can you assess the performance of the 10th Assembly on its core mandate of lawmaking, oversight, and holding the executive arm of government accountable? Can you provide some general assessment of the 10th Imo House of Assembly?
This question would have been answered authoritatively if I was in the house. But from the outside, I think I can rate them 65–70% from the outside, because I'm not inside there. Based on the little laws which I've seen them passed, some of the bills that are passing into law. So I wouldn't want to delve into. I wouldn't like to delve much into their shortcomings as regards with the executive. So for now, I can rate them 70% for now, because there are quite a good number of them who are very, very pronounced in there. I think they're also trying their best. Just very few of them, but I can't mention names for now. Based on the bills they are presenting to the House.
Can you point to some of the laws that they have passed that have been very impactful to Imolites?
That's on health insurance, for the aged. That law have been passed, signed into law. The bill have been signed into law, which the governor has also assented to. So I think that's one of the major breakthroughs. The health insurance, both for the public servants and the aged among within the Imo citizens. Then another one is the CCTV law, which also has been signed to be placed and mounted at strategic points within Imo State. And also, there's another one which I also came across, that's the rice factory, that rice mill in is it Itubu Mabi, somewhere in Ogigwe zone, which is also have been signed into law. I think that should be an institute or so, Then okay, that of pension is still at the committee level. This was at the committee level from my findings. So there are quite a good number of them, which time might not permit me to start mentioning them one by one now. But like I said before, I read them 70%. Some of them are people-friendly policies that are signed into law.
But how about the oversight work of the legislators, the oversight work, and holding the executive arm accountable? For instance, the 2026 budget. Do you think that the Imo House of Assembly did a good job in making sure that what the executive put into that budget are things that would benefit Imo lives? How do you rate their oversight work as well as their core mandate of holding the executive accountable?
When it comes to executive and legislative relationship, when there's no fracas that's in the public domain, it then means things are moving smoothly. Like I will always say, I'm not in the house at the moment. There are some limitations to what I know or what I ought to know. But from the outside, because I'm speaking from the outside now, from the outside, I think there's a robust relationship between them. And I also believe that if their oversight is not going on well, maybe they will raise the alarm, both in ensuring that the executive are under check, which is part of their statutory obligation, what they owe us as Imolites, to make sure the executive is under check, since there's no outburst anywhere, outcry anywhere between either from the legislative angle or from the executive angle, that means things are they're moving on smoothly. And for the governor to be also embarking on some projects which are very, very evident, today, it means there's an understanding going on between the two arms of government. So in that regards, I also rate them 70%, 75%. I'm talking from the outside. Maybe if I was inside, I would have known more. So let me not go deeper into it without facts.
Which one is a sign that the legislators are doing their work? Graveyard silence or tension all the time on the media? Which one? When there is peace and graveyard silence, does that signal that everything is going okay? Or the tension we often see in many states and countries of the world between the executive and the legislature, does that signal that yes, the legislators are doing their work?
When there's tension, that means there is a lacuna somewhere. When there's tension, it means there's trouble somewhere. Both parties are not on the same page. So, but if there is a good atmosphere, that means things are moving on well between both arms of government. And also, you know, if you check what's happening in other states, without mentioning names now, you also see that whenever there is any fracas, when there's noise anywhere, either from the school or from the legislature, it means they're not on the same page. For us in Imo, we've not seen such tension. So I believe they are working well. They're working. There's that mutual understanding between the two parties involved. So I
Okay.
take it that there's a peace, which means things are moving on well.
Some Imolites think that the 10th House of Assembly is an extension of the executive arm of Imo State. I don't know whether you have heard about that. It could be a rumor, it could be fact, but I want to ask you, do you agree? Based on your observations, how independent has the 10th Assembly been in upholding the rule of law? Do you believe legislative decisions have been driven more by public interest or by political pressures and executive influence?
I wouldn't agree with them. This is a democracy, and in every democratic environment, there must be oppositions. Whenever you hear certain cries against the incumbent sitting government, mostly from oppositions, like the health insurance law. That one does not know if you are PDP, if you are APC, if you are Labour Party or not. It's all for Imolites, for Imo indigenes. Now, if what they are saying is true, I mean, such laws wouldn't have been passed in the first place, would have been signed into law, such bills. So to me, there's nothing like doing what is not people friendly or doing stuffs that are not in accordance with, in line with the interests of the masses. Whatever you see as of today, all the ones like what I mentioned to you before, they're all people-oriented policies that are beneficial to Imolites. So to me, I don't see them as another arm of the executive. No, because there are also some proposals which the governor brings to the house at times too, which are not looked into. They are just thrown away.
So you were saying that there may have been some proposals brought to the House that by the government, by the executive arm, that the House may not have approved or may not have taken up. Do you know of any of those proposals?
Like I told you, I'm a little bit rattled with have an incident which I shared with you privately. I would have given you maybe our next interview. I will give you so many of them. So many of them. At least I know 3, 4, 5 of them.
Okay, that will be another interview, just so you know. So I hope you're not saying this for the sake of saying them, because we'll bring you back again to. Let's come home now. You wanted to represent your local government area, Ikeduru, at the 10th Imo House of Assembly, but somebody else is there right now. How can you assess the current legislator representing your local government? Is he exceeding your expectations? And what would you have done differently for the Ikeduru people?
This question would have been best answered by a different person entirely. Because right now, I'm also, will I use the word, a competitor. Because elections are fast approaching. But in all fairness to the Ikeduru constituents, our current rep in Imo House of Assembly is, if I want to rate him, is below 10%. Let me. I can even help him a bit by saying let's push it up to 20%. But go and do your own findings. Out of every 20 person from Ikeduru you see, ask them about the legislator. Is he performing or not? Maybe when next we meet, I'll ask you this question for you to give me feedback. What he has been able to do there. They have been so docile. There's nothing, no single bill. I don't think there's anyone that has any impact on the people of Ikeduru that he has presented or immolized. Nothing, no contributions. I don't think has even seconded any motion there. I don't think so. So, like I said before, do your own findings. Maybe in our next meeting, you can give me feedback. And also, judge for yourself if he's meeting up to his presentation or not. So, to me, he's not doing well. He has no business there. If you ask me till tomorrow, he has no business there. It doesn't fit into what's going on there, and he will never fit in. So there's no point beating about the bush. My party, we're in the same party now. I'm in APC now. I joined since last year, even before this hurricane of crossover. I joined for as early middle of last year, for very, very obvious reasons. I was in APC before. I left to run for election on that Labour Party due to one or two misunderstandings. But others have been sorted out. I'm back to the party. We're all in the party now. And with the wave of other oppositions, I think the party will need to look into some offices for the next election. People who are more credible should be filled in to run for election and win for the party. So to me, he's not doing well. He's less than 20%. Then for what I would have done differently, for want of time, I had a 4 to 5 point agenda during my campaigning. Those are proposals which I intended to present at the floor of the House for them to consider. Which one of them, this health insurance, as if the government knew, that one had been passed into law already. Another one is traffic laws. It's where I tell people that if there's discipline on our roads today, we have solved collectively 10 to 15% of our problems as a nation. Any day we put in discipline on our roads for road users, we have solved 10 to 15% of our problems as a nation. From Imo State, which is my state, as a lawmaker, if I'm given the opportunity, traffic laws, I know they've been there, but we're going to go into implementation. You cannot see a situation whereby, let me tell you further, because of indiscipline on the roads, so many health challenges, some sick people, their situation have been worsened because of improper road usage. Take for instance, a pregnant woman now who is in labor, coming from Ikeduru Aziz, maybe heading to the FMC, only for you to get to Imo Junction. Maybe you want to do a bypass there. If you see somebody who doesn't have any business making a right turn, we'll go and stop there. It will only take the grace of God for the person to leave at his own convenience. Meanwhile, it doesn't have any reason to be at that right way. Such things are are serious issues which must be looked into. So we need a serious orientation in road usage. A whole lot of people are passed away because of indiscriminate road usage. People might see it as a very simple matter, but when it affects you, when it touches you, you will not know how heavy it is. That one is on that one. Then another part of my agenda then, which I plan to present to the House, was school, primary and secondary schools teachers. The idea of late coming, the idea of nonchalant attitudes, discipline within our schools. That one also was part of my program. You will go to some rural communities, you see a child going to school by 9 o'clock, by 10 o'clock, you will be wondering why. If you ask him or her, he will tell immediately that their teachers don't come on time. Follow him or her to our school, you will see with your eyes that the teachers were not there. Both primary and secondary education. Among teachers, there must be discipline. The era of teachers going to school with their household ideas for students to make for them, no. That would be non-acceptable. So, for want of time, maybe on our next program, I'm going to present to you more of them. Like I said before, health insurance have been taken care of by the government. The traffic law, the school discipline in school. If I was elected, let me use that word because someone is already sitting on that seat. The docility on that seat wouldn't have been so. The nonchalant attitude wouldn't have been so. The coldness, the quietness for Ikeduru seat. Ikeduru is one of the most prominent areas in Imo State. But our House member has reduced the place to a mere debating society, debating, I don't know if it's up to debating society. His own is, he goes there, he didn't listen to others, and he'll go home. No contributions, no seconding of motions, no nothing.
Thank you, Engineer Anaele. I know the current rep for Ikeduru, Mr. John Lioba Ihoha, and I'm sure he will get to hear what you have said about his work at the House at this time, and I'm sure he will respond to you, and hopefully maybe we can bring you and him together to have a frank conversation about his representation in the Imo House of Assembly. We'll also get other Ikeduru sons and daughters to fact check you to see if what you're saying about their rev. The way you're talking, it looks like you are looking forward to 2027. Are you planning to run again?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. If my party deems it necessary to give me the ticket, I'll run. I'm fully prepared for it.
So you are planning to run again in 2027?
Absolutely.
Do you know whether John Lioba is planning to run again?
He has every right to recontest again.
So what do you plan to do differently so that what happened in 2023 won't happen to you? I know you have switched parties to APC, or maybe that's part of the grand plan to ensure you get into office. Are there other things you're planning to ensure that what happened in 2023 to you does not happen again?
There's something I should hold to my heart for now, because we're in the public space. Whatever strategies I have, in securing the mandates, I'm equally, if I let it out here, I'm also telling the oppositions how to ambush me.
Okay, have you started engaging Ikeduru people regarding your 2027 ambition?
The leaders of APC, they are very, very reliable and capable of defending one's vote. So if given the opportunity, I know I'll win the election, and I'm sure they will defend the votes.
No, it's not yet campaign time, but have you started engaging Ikeduru people? And how have you been engaging them since 2023?
Immediately after the elections, I didn't go to sleep. Let me also inform you that I'm the founder of the New Era organization of Ikeduru, where there's a grassroots support base. There's no booth or ward in Ikeduru today that does not have a member of New Era organization, which is my brainchild. And we're meeting, consulting with people, with leaders, with electorates since after 2023 elections. In fact, we met a couple of days ago in my place, still strategizing, still doing what we know how to do best by God's grace. So we're in touch with both grassroots and leadership, electorates, and also party faithfuls. Like I said before, we are preparing fully for the elections, if given the opportunity
Before
to run.
I bring in Blessing to ask you for your final thoughts, and this is something that is personal to me, you know that I'm somebody, I like to do a lot of youth empowerment, philanthropic work. I mean, you want to be a legislator, and your work would be to make laws. You're not in the executive, you don't implement projects. But just for curiosity, and also I'm sure many people will see this video. Before 2023 and since after 2023, being a successful engineer, have you been impacting in other ways? People in your community, Umori, Ikeduru people, whether through philanthropy or through youth empowerment programs, or some people do a lot of things, primary school help, or even provide some leadership that may have contributed to the development of, even if it is your kindred. Can you point to a few things you have done as a successful Nigerian, a successful young man, how you're giving back to your community, to Ikeduru, something that, when people hear about it, they would be like, okay, if he could do this later for us, I'm sure that when he goes there, he would fight for a bigger part. Would you mind speaking to that? And it's okay if you have not, but I'm just, trying to, put that out on the table.
For want of time, Father, let me just pick just one. Maybe if you go to my community in Umuri, Imo, they will tell you much about me or more about me. As an engineer, some years back, I gave opportunities to the youth. We have seven villages that make up Amimo. I told them to give me one person each to be trained in the field of welding and fabrications. That's some years back. Father, I can tell you today that out of those 7 opportunities, 4 made it. I saw them throughout the training period, set them up. They're all doing well today. 2 from Amachara, 1 from Obodo, Amimo, 2 from Amachara, Amimo, 1 from Umuri, Amimo. And as I speak to you, they're all doing well in their respective homes. They are all masters of the same field, have their own respective companies, doing well. In fact, last time I went for a program in Amachara. Right in the field there, 2 of them came out and supported me with some good money to support what I came for that day. And they told the whole world what I did for them. That today they are car owners, they're all married, have children, take care of their families, courtesy of me. I mean, those are things Each time I remember them, I thank God for giving me the initiative to present it to my community. Also, I've also set up a scheme for the the Okada riders, they call them Okada riders in my community. I set it up, kind of a revolving loan to them, which some people benefited from it. Up to today, some of them are still using their machines, feeding their families. I also set up a little, what do you call it, interest-free loan for some market women. Which today, some of them, in Amimo, some of them are shop owners today. Some are provision stores, some are into wholesale drinks. Today, they are all well set up. So I can go on and on and on. I'm doing this one outside government. Who knows how it will be when? Let me inform us that what they call constituency projects. The governor in the last stakeholders meeting mentioned it there that he has been giving legislators their constituency allowances for projects. I don't think our own has done more than 1 or 2 boreholes, one in Eziama and one little one in Umuri.
Thank you, Engineer Nele. We have had a very robust conversation, and I assure you we shall bring you back. And we hope that when next you're coming, please be sure to have your facts, because you have mentioned, you pointed to quite a lot of things that I think Ikeduru people would like to hear about. We would like you to speak more about the allocations given to our rep for Ikeduru, the constituency projects, and how he has used those allocations for Ikeduru people. I would also like to have you do more research and make sure that you will be able to inform Ikeduru people, not just because you're running for office, but we have a right to know what our rep is doing for us out there at the 10th Assembly. We have a right to know. Everybody in Ikeduru has the right to know the amount of money given to our rep for our constituency by the governor. And if this is just what you're doing for Ikeduru people, that's more than enough, because then when we get this information, knowledge is power. We can then go after him and ask for the money, and ask for the money, and ask him questions about what he's doing. So sometimes people think that help is giving money, but if you would do us the favor of getting more facts, about this, we'll bring you back again, so you can tell us. And that's what we Ikeduru people. I am from Ikeduru. I would like to have facts about this, and if I do have the facts about this, I will go after him to ask him for our constituency project money and what he has done with the money. So thank you so much. I'll bring in finally our anchor, Blessing, who introduced this program and turned it over to me to wrap up the program with a few words. And we thank you for the opportunity coming here. Like I said, we are sure we're going to bring you back again. And I do understand the personal challenges you face today. Hopefully, by the time we bring you back again, you will be in a much better and sober position to tackle some of the issues that you left hanging today.
Okay, thank you so much, Father. Thank you so much, Honorable Chuks Anaele. Just like Father stated, you actually gave us, should I say, a run for our time. So thank you so much. And when you talk about the advocacy program area of CSAE, we're all about human rights, good governance, and anti-corruption. And just like Father said, some of the cases you made when it comes to the Ikeduru constituency, the money and everything, we would love to get more facts about that, because this is what we are for, so that we can know how to probe that and then ask for accountability. So before we let you go, I want to ask, what are your final thoughts? What do you have to say to our viewers? What are your final thoughts to our viewers?
Thank you so much for this opportunity, and I pray the next one will be better. Yeah, for the viewers out there, like I will always tell people, get involved in this politicking business. People should get involved in politics, not just for the sake of running for elections. People should get involved. Let me inform them. Let me inform us. Policies are made for people, for Nigerians. They're not meant for animals. Any wrong policy affects both you, that's there to be docile, that's there to sit on the fence. Any wrong policy affects everybody. But when some people get involved, both technocrats, businessmen and women, students, once they get involved, when policies that are not people-friendly are put on the table, they will discard it. They'll discard them. They will oppose them. And go for the better people-oriented, people-friendly policies. So my advice to everybody, as much as you can, get involved. Don't say, I'm not a politician, that's not my business. It will be your business. Because once you elect the wrong persons, they will go there, make laws that will haunt you, both you and your family, that will fight you to stand still, that will make life miserable for you. But once you're involved, you can be able to do stuff in the right direction, can be able to make laws, support in making laws that will affect us positively.
Thank you so much for your time. We do appreciate it. Thank you.